Welcome to True Health Tuesday, and the truth will set you free. Okay, now today we're talking about menstruation and menopause. Now, menstrual disorders, when you put it as a global problem, it means that our female species of the species is going through something they shouldn't have. And now there's some cultures on the planet that have no word for menopause. So that means that women who, for as long as women been around, they've been going through that change of life without an issue. But now we are having an issue. So let's look at the real problem, but also menstrual disorders. You're looking at, and this is irregular menstrual cycles, infrequent menstruation, intermittent bleeding, dysmenorrhea, premenstrual syndrome. 75% of adolescent girls, and this is the main reason for gynecological visits. And other participants in this study, 97.8% reported at least one form of menstrual disorders. Now, women have a natural cycle. You've got premenopause, and this is when the body every 28 days goes through to prepare the system to give birth. It starts roughly around 12. We're seeing earlier and earlier menstrual cycles, which are very, very dangerous for the system. But it means that the hormonal system is interrupted. But in a natural cycle, periods typically start to wane between 35 and 45. Around 50 plus, it could be the last menstruation under normal circumstances. And then menopause and postmenopausal. And this is cessation of the menstrual cycle. But that's a huge amount of energy that the body puts forward to prepare the system to regenerate, to actually build another human. Now, menopause complications are incredibly on the rise. You could say epidemic. Now, the quality of life of women are severely threatened during this period of menopause by increasing symptoms and we're talking psychological complications, cutaneous or skin issues, urogenital complications, cardiac, musculoskeletal, insomnia, depression, fatigue, irritability, headaches, hair loss, urinary incontinence, blood pressure, muscle, bone pain, hot flashes. I mean, miserable. So you got to ask the quality of your life depends on the quality of questions you ask. Why is there an increasing problem with menstrual disorders and menopause complications? Are there common factors that could be affecting both menstruation and menopause? What's going on with your environment? Well, could there be a correlation with processed foods with chemicals and antibiotics? What about toxic drinking or bathing water, toxic food and drink containers, toxic cosmetic products, toxic cleaning products, toxic drugs? Now, these are prescribed or recreational. Toxic injections. And we can't talk about some of this because of censorship. Environmental toxins and hormone altering. We're talking oral contraceptive and virtually all medications. So you have an absolutely recipe for disaster for our population. You're talking physical, chemical, emotional stress. Now, this is going to be adrenal fatigue. Thyroid's going to be altered. Pancreas is going to be overloaded. Hormonal imbalance. Then you add in the nutrition deficient diet, sedentary lifestyle, toxic environment, toxic processed foods. Then add in the antibiotics, not just taken, but in the environment. Okay, we're talking glyphosates, medications, surgery. When they're removing the gallbladder, that disrupts hormone or fatty acid production, which means that it's going to be a problem with hormone production. When they remove the tonsils, that's a problem with immune system and lung function. This is lymph tissue. If you've had your appendix removed, you're talking a 60% increase in colon cancer. So the organs are in place for a reason. Now, short-term effects of chronic stress, your body adapts through the autonomic nervous system. Now, the adrenals, when you're in a stress state and you have hormonal imbalances, there's a thing called adrenal insufficiency, where your adrenals aren't able to produce the cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine, the what it needs to produce. And those adrenal glands are the pharmacy of the body. Now, this overstimulation leads to the thyroid depletion. Now, thyroids can also be disrupted by excessive hormones. This is one of the reasons birth control pills are linked to abnormal thyroid function. But could also cause an overproduction of cortisol, which increases calcium mobilization from the bone because you need that positive ion. And this leads to osteoporosis. So, adaptations to chronic stress. This is a sympathetic dominant state. Remember, you've got an automatic nervous system. One part keeps you alive under stress, and that's the sympathetic or fight or flight. The other part regenerates tissue. This autonomic or automatic balance allows you to thrive on the planet. Now, under physical, chemical, or emotional stress, you're talking digestive system is negatively affected because this puts you in a sympathetic dominant state. Reproductive system. This means the menstrual cycles, okay? Endocrine system, again, it puts you in a stress state. This begins from that chronic stress, which is causing a lack of nutrients and a change in blood flow. The adrenals become exhausted. Cortisol levels drop. And figure the adrenals are the first order function of endocrine breakdown. Okay, then this follows by insulin producing portion of the pancreas, thyroid, ovaries, parathyroid, pineal gland, pituitary. Finally, autonomic nervous system, the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is unique. Figure your entire system, you have two communication pathways. One pathway is electrical, and that's the nervous system, and that's what controls and coordinates every function. The other one are chemical communicators, or called hormones. So now the hypothalamus is unique because it has 1 foot in the nervous system, 1 foot in the endocrine system. So it really responds to the information going up, and then it changes those messengers coming down. Now, again, the quality of your life depends on the quality of questions you ask. Why are women more susceptible to stress? Number one, female hormone imbalances are often related to stress response. Chronic stress imbalances cortisol. Cortisol imbalance deregulates your female hormones, such as estrogen. Now, both estrogen and progesterone are necessary in the female cycle, and their balance is key for optimal health. Menstrual cycle further depletes the body of nutrients because you got to build that uterine lining every 28 days and then shed it every 28 days if you're not going to have an implantation and bring a child to full term. Okay, and this requires a lot of nutrients, and this is required for normal function. So, what are the solutions? Now, number one, when we say avoid all medications, no one's suffering from a lack of drugs. Okay, but you got to find out why they were prescribed. That typically the medications are prescribed for certain stress responses or stress adaptations. So, find a doctor that understands this, and you're going to see all medications can disrupt the gut flora, which is where neurotransmitters are produced, and that's the immune system. All medications can interrupt mitochondrial, which is the literally the powerhouses of the cell. So medications typically cause the same symptom they're designed to treat. So we're living in a crazy era where chemicals are given to people that are in a stress response to alter their adaptation. So avoid the medications. If you can, find a doctor that understands this, and avoid synthetic hormones. They're not identical and they're not bioavailable. Okay, you got to find out. If you're trying to give your body something that it already produces, you're missing the big picture of the underlying stressors. High fat, low carbohydrate diet, fantastically important, but it's got to be the healthy fats. Regular exercise. This does angiogenesis, generates blood vessels, helps detox the system, helps balance the nervous system. Fantastically important. You got to supplement to fill the nutritional voids. And this is going to be the key, because when you're in a stress response, you're going to have low stomach acid. So this is why the high fat, low carbohydrate diet is important. But it also means that you're going to be mineral deficient. So you got to supplement to fulfill those nutritional voids that you're getting from either a poor diet or from a chronic stress response, decreasing how your body is going to break down and absorb these nutrients. You have to learn to address the emotional imbalances. You master your emotions, you change your physiology. Got tons of videos on that. And then essential oils are amazing. And then get proper sleep. Why? Because and you can reset your circadian rhythms. Okay. But it's a job. Now, almost all medications disrupt your hormone imbalances, hormone balance. And when we look at this, they also disrupt the mitochondrial function, and those are the powerhouses of the cell. And every cell in your body has to take in nutrients, produce proteins, and eliminate waste products. So what do the side effects of most medications say? Okay, you're looking at fatigue, appetite changes, altered sleep patterns, low libido, sadness, even depression can come from innocuous over-the-counter medications. Okay, extremely disruptive medications are going to be corticosteroids, stimulants, cholesterol-lowering drugs, dopamine antagonists, rexinoids, glucocorticosteroids. I mean, all of these things, glucocorticoids, these things are dangerous to the system. Find out why you were prescribed them and fix the problem. Now, birth control pills, these are one of the most dangerous ones. Why? Because they literally are there to disrupt your hormones. And if you read on the side effects, even though these are the effects of it, increased uterine bleeding, blood clotting, increased heart attack, stroke, migraines, blood pressure abnormalities, weight gain, back pain, mood changes, nausea, even liver tumors. Because remember, anything you put in your mouth has to be filtered through the wall in the intestine into the liver. That means every piece of broccoli, every pill has to be filtered. That's where the benign liver tumors come from, in breast tenderness. Foods you've got to avoid, anything with processed added sugar. Remember, there's certain cultures on the planet that don't have terminology for menopause issues, that there is a natural progression that women have been going through for millennia. Vegetable, seed oils, the refined vegetable oils are toxic to the system. Refined carbohydrates have the opposite effect of healthy fats. In fact, they lead to inflammation. They can mess with your hormone balance. Avoid the omega-6 oils, such as safflower, sunflower, corn oil, cottonseed oil, canola, soybean, peanut oil. In fact, the only omega-6 that you can add to your diet is gamma-linoleic acid. This can be found in hemp seeds, which can be taken in whole food or supplement form. The high-fat, low-carb diet is incredibly important, okay? And I'm talking a variety of fats, so the short, medium, and long-chain fatty acids. Your body needs fats to create the hormones. You need saturated fats and cholesterol. Now, if you've had your gallbladder removed, again, a super common operation, but that means you're going to have trouble with the bile production or the bile excretion to emulsify those fats. So if you've had your gallbladder removed, you have to increase the amount of fats, not decrease it. Now, not only are these essential fats fundamental building blocks for hormones, but they keep the inflammation low. Why? Because inflammation is how the body heals. Okay? And you need the antioxidants to allow that inflammatory process to heal. Plus, they boost your metabolism, promote weight loss. The healthy fats we're talking about: coconut oil, natural antibacterial and fat burning effects. Avocado oil, you're talking it improves your health, heart health, lowering inflammation, controlling your appetite. Super high in potassium, fantastically good for you. Healthy fatty fish like wild caught salmon. This is one of the greatest sources of omega-3s, but also look at anchovy and mackerel and sardine. It helps with cognitive functions. Omega-3 fats are a large component of brain cell membranes. So it's important for cell-to-cell communication. If you look at the research, you're talking omega-3 fatty acids help protect against hippocampal neuronal loss. And this reduces inflammation because it's an antioxidant. Now, addressing the emotional stressors. You master your emotions, you change your physiology. It's that simple. Okay, this can help prevent health conditions associated with hormonal imbalances. You spend a few minutes in prayer and meditation. Okay, and look at every study. Prayer works. You get in that moment of meditative action. You get in that parasympathetic state. with a conscious focusing on that prayer and meditation, extremely beneficial. You're talking deep breathing is fantastically beneficial because you're alkalinizing the system. You're moving the lymph if you're diaphragmatic breathing. But every study out there shows prayer and meditation works. This is why when we talk about the 5 keys to health, I just want to say don't poison yourself and live within your design parameters. But that's too simple. Proper nerve supply, because you live your life through your nervous system. If you have an autonomic imbalance, find the physical, chemical, emotional stressors, because that nervous system controls and coordinates every function of the body. Regular exercise. This detoxes, stimulates neuronal production, brain function. It stimulates lymph flow, stimulates angiogenesis. It's amazing. Proper nutrition means if your great-great-grandparents can't recognize it, don't eat it. Okay, so we're talking healthy, organic, seasonal, fermented, all this stuff, just what you would normally eat, not processed, packaged, or synthetic foods. Sufficient rest. This means that you're getting deep sleep every night. Look at our sleep videos on how to reset your circadian rhythms, and prayer and meditation. You spend a few minutes in your relationship to a power greater than you. You were designed to live on this planet, okay? And we can make it so. So practice prayer daily and meditation daily. Now, put your comments and questions below. We're going to try and get to as many as we can. And within a week, we'll do the Q&R, or questions and responses, and I'll post as many as we can. But your body is made in the image and likeness of God. God bless you. Go forth and thrive on our planet.